Podcast. I am your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. And sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam Man, Viral Hip Hop News. We're in the building. It's a Thursday. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Yep. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
Doing good today, man. Excited to be in the building, man, for another one. Episode 113. And our first year still going strong, man. We also just want to say, as always, we appreciate everybody who's going to listen to, a piece or even all of this podcast. You know what I mean? And, excited to be here, man. We got a nice little lineup. So, can't wait to talk about, some of the hot stories and going on around the world today, man.
Indeed, man. We love to come in here and do what we do on the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Make sure you hit that like button on Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course, the official Uncensored Truth Podcast channel. Getting ready for the live show tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. We love getting with the people. We had the phone lines open. We'll talk some shit from the week of hip hop. We had a good week of hip hop, a lot going on. Like I said, we got a great lineup, man. Can't wait to get to it. Yeah, what we got on the lineup, big dog.
We're going to talk about 21 Savage, man. There's been a new development with the 21 Savage case here. We're gonna talk about that. That was a pretty just a shocker for us. Also we're gonna talk about Gucci, apologizing for some real crazy stuff once again. Another company to do so. Also Pastor Troy calling out T.I., Jeezy, and Ludacris. We're gonna talk about that, as well as couple other stories we got over there. Somebody passing away, and definitely good one today, though. Definitely,
indeed, man. Let's get right to it. I know we like to start off with sports, so let me start by saying, unfortunately, we have a passing of Baltimore Orioles legend Frank Robinson. Now, if you don't know Frank Robinson, he's one of the pioneers in Major League Baseball, being one of the first to play Major League Baseball. He played for I believe, the Reds, and he also played for the Baltimore Orioles. He was a manager, two-time MVP, and the first African-American manager. He died at the age of 83. Your thoughts on that, man? I don't know if you really knew Frank Robinson too well, but I know you heard the name growing up.
Yeah, definitely. Heard the name. It's ringing a lot of bells. Condolences. But I will say, the people that did know him a lot, they can just look at, he was a pioneer, for what he did. So, I'm sure his family, lost a great person, but I'm sure he's left a great legacy for them, to follow. So, condolences to the family, though, man.
Indeed, man. Frank Robinson was funny because anytime you listen to an interview, I was too young to really watch him, but he was an asshole. And he was an ass, but one of those assholes is like, he wasn't taking no shit from any of them commentators, anybody asking him questions. He was going to give it to you, whether he gave it to you in real sarcastic, fast, slow, whatever. He was an asshole. And it was real dope to see, because you can only think, back then, being the first African-American manager and having to deal with what he dealt with, he wasn't taking any shit at all. A player, he wasn't taking any shit. Two-time MVP, dealing in baseball, a white man sport at the time. We had the Negro leagues that was flourishing, but the MLB was a white man's league. And for him to go in there and to do what he does and to command and respect him and Hank Aaron at the time and Willie Mays, shout out to Frank Robinson. Condolences, age of 83. Rest in peace.
Absolutely, man. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sam, man. Going in on this Thursday. Everybody that's listening on YouTube, do me two favors: hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. All right, man. We've been going back and forth over this 21 Savage thing today, and earlier today, a new development came out that's pretty much throwing a big monkey wrench in this whole situation. Now, yesterday we reported, that Jay-Z pretty much hired a lawyer that's going to be fighting on 21 Savage's behalf. But it seems like as soon as that news dropped, this one dropped. Now, law enforcement authorities are claiming that pretty much that after, an altercation happened with 21 Savage when they arrested him, that they found a fully loaded Glock at the time of his arrest. Now, they're saying that he was pretty much, driving a red Challenger. When they searched the vehicle, they found this in the glove compartment. And it did have an extended magazine. Now, he's right now in ICE pretty much being detained, facing deportation. So, Sam, man, what do you think about this? I know you were very skeptical, of this early in the pre-production. Do you believe this story, or do you think that this is just another, maybe even a lie or another chess move to put the icing on the cake for 21 Savage?
This is a chess move all day long. Right. I'll put it like that. Now, let me start by saying I'm not a 21 Savage fan when it comes to his music. I like some of it, but I can't sit there and repeat word for word what he raps. A lot more of his fans are out here really supporting and ride for him. But as far as his case is concerned, as far as what he has going on, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's sad. I think when you look at a brother that was changing his life and someone that I used to joke on and criticize early on within viral hip hop news, and now I'm proud enough to say that, look at this brother and what he's doing and how he's grown and taking care of the people of Atlanta. And then this happens. It's like, all right, that was chess move number one. And then we have everything going on. Like you said, Jay-Z's hiring a lawyer, the overwhelming support out here, people putting their name out there for 21 Savage. And now we have this, a move that we see from time to time when it comes to the.
So what do you say to the people going to say, this is bull, Sandman?
Yeah,
this
dude, they're going to say it.
He got caught up. They found it. He got caught slipping. Get rid of this guy. I see a lot of people saying this guy's an immigrant. Get him out of here. What do you think about those aspects?
I think the people that are saying that are probably genuine trolls. Because that's an ignorant comment to make. Get him out of here. He's an immigrant on the basis of what? You got plenty of immigrants out here that's sitting right around in here doing what they do. So get him out of here on the basis of what? That he's a famous rapper that you don't like to look at. And why don't you want him here in particular? You're trolling. But as far as what were you saying? What were you asking me?
No. Well, here's what I'll move on to this. As far as another critique that people said about you, they said,
about me.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I asked about 21 Savage's, his credibility being shot, because now the news came out that his father was pretty much a successful, doctor. So people now are saying like, yo, how could you say that his credibility is not ruined when he, came over here, his dad was a successful doctor. So he wasn't, most likely never really living that life that he proclaimed that he lived. What do you think about that, Sam?
I don't care. So, okay, what then people say, with all due respect, I mean, you can have your right to disagree with me and absolutely keep killing with the comments and all that. But when you first off tell me that his dad was a doctor, good for them. I'm not going to, he shouldn't have to apologize to his dad being a doctor. When he got out to Atlanta, if shit was fucking rough, And he shouldn't have to apologize for that. He's another black man down there in Georgia when he came from the UK, whether he was sitting there eating tea and crimpets with the prince and he was good and living in the Zamunda life, or he was living rough, because the UK has its rough areas too. Right. You're not going to sit here and act like the UK doesn't have its areas where they get down just as busy as we do out here. So whatever the case may have been, what he dealt with there and what he dealt with here are two completely different circumstances. So miss me with that.
What do you think about Jay-Z? Pretty much, coming to the rescue, hiring one of the best lawyers that deals with this whole immigration, situation. The statement that he left pretty much saying he's a good guy. He doesn't really deserve to be in this situation. When are they going to put the hammer on Jay-Z? What do you feel about Jay-Z? How do you feel about him now? Helping is a good thing, but a lot of people are skeptical about this. How do you feel about it, Sam?
People are skeptical in the basis of they think that
he may be up to something. I don't know. I mean, we have a whole nother angle, about him maybe doing too much, but a lot of people are skeptical. Like, what is Jay-Z's interest in this for real? That's what people are saying.
I mean, those are conspiracy theorists, and they have their right to talk. And I know people think, oh, he's a Jay-Z rider, this or that or the third. But when you come with certain arguments, it's like, damn, you kind of really make no sense. Right. Now, is there something cynical going on? Yeah, maybe. But when you see Jay-Z actively speaking against the injustices going on out here, and then he follows that up with money, what the fuck are you hating on? What the fuck are you hating on? Now, whether or not it works, whether or not, whatever the case, when he comes out here and he makes a statement and then he follows that up with his own money, what are you fucking crying about? Because then the next thing will be, oh, he doesn't do enough, or he doesn't do this, which we've given him criticism for.
Here's the thing. A lot of people, what they're saying is, maybe he's just jumping on it as a publicity stunt, even though he's helping, because they say, well, you got, probably thousands of other people who are facing the same type of situation. How come Jay-Z's not stepping up and saying something? I'm just going up with the people, the ear to the street, are saying in the comment section. How come, they're not stepping up and bringing light to those people? Forget this dude, 21 Savage. He's a nobody, just some rapper, who came from Atlanta by way of the UK.
Well, all due respect to those people in the comment section, maybe Jay-Z, now maybe we're a little ignorant, but maybe he has a little more of a relationship with that dude than we do, sitting out here commenting about shit that we really don't know. Let's keep it 100. We sitting here giving our real honest opinion of situations that we're not directly involved with. Those people commenting, they have every right to comment, but they're not directly involved with it. When Jay-Z looked at 21 Savage, he may potentially have looked at a kid that he's chilled with, seen grow. We watched him grow from a distance. He might have watched him grow kind of more up close than what we have. And seeing this shit go and be fucked up after watching Meek Mill go through something that the whole nation went and was aggravated and upset over, and looked at a judge and said, the judge would say, fuck you. I don't care who you are, what you are. He's staying in there.
Right.
And just starting to piss people off. So he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, no, I like, I can't really see no criticisms, the Reform Alliance yet. Maybe at some point, that's the organization that they started. For people who don't know, Meek Mill, Michael Rubin, Jay-Z, and a few other billionaires started up, to pretty much, address situations just like this. So I think it's a good thing, man. I mean, obviously, it'll be smart, marketing wise, for him to attach himself to situations like this. It's only going to bring more publicity, and therefore more money to his cause and company anyway. So, I mean, if Jay-Z gets his name on it, it gets bigger. It's a headline now. So, yeah, it's a good move.
You're bringing up points I want to make now. For the people that are going to criticize me for being a Jay-Z rider, I appreciate you sticking around for this section, because this is where I get critical of Jay-Z.
Right.
I do question it in a election year.
Oh, man.
Because we have had conversation about his questionable picks when it comes to certain leaders in this country.
Let's talk about it.
So when it comes to the Democratic candidates and who will be running against Trump in the 2020 election, when we see what name goes in that hat and what money goes in that hat, because we know money definitely rules politics, and we see what their stance is in certain situations, followed up with what Jay-Z's talking about on here in these streets, prison reform, blacks need more rights, more justice. Okay, if that doesn't coincide with what's going on, who's going to be sitting in there behind the White House, then we can go ahead and give right to criticism and start questioning this move, that move, and that move, because he's gaining popularity. He's gaining a lot of popularity and a lot of power in a lot of different areas. This is a good time if you do have something going on with one of these people in the office and you're about to throw money to
I think at the time, this is why it's important to have, shows like this, because at the time, when Jay-Z was backing Hillary, and other people were picking sides with Hillary, Trump, there wasn't really, anybody who covered it like we're about to cover it. So when Jay-Z or anybody makes a choice to endorse somebody, now we have to look at what that person stands for. If that person stands for some shady things and they, voted some certain ways, then we're gonna have to, look at Mr. Jay-Z and say, hey man, like what's really, your agenda, and also his, who he's voting for and putting his money behind should definitely be backing, what they're doing with the Reform Alliance. I think Charlamagne asked a few good questions to Michael Rubin about that.
Michael Rubin and Cory Booker.
Okay, yeah.
Booker T, whatever his fucking name was, up there and exposed himself.
Oh man,
did Jersey terrible up there, but good. I'm glad you exposed yourself. Come on up, keep coming up there and exposing yourself so that we can get some accurate information. If they got to go on the Breakfast Club to where we understand that language, we being black people that's not going to sit on CNN and FSNBC or whatever the case and listen to these boring ass elections, we can get them firsthand right there and just have conversation and questions. That's Charlamagne, Envy, and Angela. If they're going to sit on that platform that we want to know, we want to ask, and we can understand their answers. So keep coming on there, man. I salute what they're doing over there as far as politics, giving people a little different of understanding of what these people are all about.
Because we can, I forgot somebody sent me a video on Twitter, about Jay-Z. I remember I sent it to you, and I forget the YouTuber, but he went in. We got to find that video again about Jay-Z and his alliance to Hillary, and it's a lot, and we're definitely going to do, our part, as the election gets closer, to really watch these celebrities and rappers and, and really put them under the microscope when it comes to things like that. Definitely.
Absolutely, man. This is what we got the platform for. We understand the responsibility and the importance behind it. So we're going to do it justice.
Yes.
We fans of Jay-Z when it comes to his music, but that don't mean he can't get the knife when it comes on this podcast. He can get it too.
Yes, sir.
If it's warranted. He will.
Sir. Yeah, definitely. But you tune into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Sandman and Oh God. Going in today on this Thursday. Yo, tomorrow tune in at 8 p.m.
Tell them.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on the air. You're going to want to be in the building, and every so often we do open up the phone lines to interact, with you people. But the chat room is always open, so we definitely interact, throughout the night with everybody. So yeah, man, this next story right here, I want to actually jump over here to this one because T.I. posted up a picture, of him, Young Jeezy, and Ludacris, and he said, "Be clear, these faces, along with the host of others that look like us, laid the foundation for the infrastructure, artistic ecosystem as Atlanta. This is our shit. We run this city. And he goes on to say more. Now, this particular post, struck a nerve for Pastor Troy. And I know, I don't know a lot about Pastor Troy. I know the people, but I remember, people, my cousins and stuff would rock out with him. They lived in, Maryland and whatnot. So I know he's definitely a pioneer, definitely, in the South. And he puts up this post with that. He says, I sit back and I see all this stuff on IG and I laugh. You see them and you think whatever y'all may. I see them and say, I'm on all 3 of their first album. So who am I to this city? I didn't call nobody to get on their albums. And he goes on and he pretty much, saying, put respect on his name, Pastor Troy. Y'all can read all the much more that he said right there, on the screen. But yeah, man, he felt, some type of way about this. I know the people in the comment section are going to go in and tell us, they're in that region, Atlanta and the South down there. But Sam, man, what do you think about, Pastor Troy putting these 3 Atlanta legends, undoubtedly Jeezy, Ludacris, and T.I., on blast on Instagram and pretty much tagging them as well?
I think it was respectable blast. I think that when they go back there, they'll understand the respectable blast. When you look at a Pastor Troy who's had 26 albums since 1999, he was dropping an album a year.
Working.
Like he was working. And them 3 brothers are going to respect that consistency. They're going to respect that body of work. When T.I. said that, I can probably understand him being amongst these 3 during the Super Bowl parties or during that time in Atlanta where everyone's out there celebrating wealth, celebrating Atlanta, and him just going on and saying that on the strength. Not really maybe even thinking about Pastor Troy at the time. I don't think it was deliberately disrespectful.
Nah, that's just deliberate. Come on, Sam, man.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Come on,
Sam,
man. You know what I mean? He goes on to say, don't get it fucked up. We adjust the temperature and make it hot or as cold as we see fit. If we ain't with it, it ain't shit. Sincerely, the king. Now, T.I. took a lot of criticism, when he, crowned himself, deemed himself the king of the South. A lot of guys, were confrontational with him. A lot of guys just kind of fell back, But yeah, man, I think, you got to pay homage. And I get that. That's a very good argument. He was there around each other. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? They don't see each other that much. He could have made a meme or something and put, all the people who he thought was the king. It was respectful. I'll give you that. But yeah, man, Pastor Troy, like you said, he's been working. And Pastor Troy, he may say he's the damn king of the South. You know what I mean? Or at least the king of Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, the last couple of days, you've been getting me in a lot of shit. I'm going to tell you why, man. People been hitting me up on my Twitter, on my IG, mad at me. Now, shout out to everyone out in Atlanta.
Right.
We love the South. We love the support down there. Atlanta, Louisiana, everyone out there in the South that support Uncensored Truth. We rock with y'all.
Right.
Man, they mad at me. Talking about why are you disrespecting T.I. like this about the 21 Savage. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Fam, I don't know what you mean.
Right.
You dropped a video on the podcast. I'm like, listen, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Hip Hop News Uncensored. I said, well, you got to go talk to them. You're on Viral Hip Hop News channel. I don't know what the fuck got going on over there.
Right.
You see us, cool. I don't know what's going on over there. That's that man's business. This is my business. Go ask him why he did that.
Right.
They think you hating on T.I. and they putting it out on me.
If they listen to the commentary,
with T.I. with old guy.
If they listen to the commentary, they will see, exactly what it is. I mean, if they're probably mad about the Crime Stoppers thing.
They were pissed.
But you got people in there when you read through the comments. That's why you can't get stuck on one person that agreed along with the fact that it was what it was. All you gotta do is rifle through more of the comments. You know what I mean? I think more people were even against him. You know what I mean? In that notion as him working with the police, that people say it was part of his little probation thing, and you know what I mean, this and that. But come on, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with old guy. Do me a favor, give me your Twitter handle. So when he goes at T.I.'s throat, y'all go ahead and holler at him. Right, leave me the fuck alone.
It's fine in the description box.
Indeed, man. But now, on the strength of T.I., man, I think that he should pay homage to Pastor Troy. He should say something on his IG to make that good. If it was a respectable, just, all right, my bad, I honestly forgot about it. If it was a shot, don't say anything, and we'll see what happens from there.
It seems like he's just saying fuck everybody else. Like, it's just us and fuck everybody else. That's how people are taking it. Maybe you shouldn't. With social media, people are real sensitive. I think he probably shouldn't even said anything and just stay in his lane. But for some reason, he felt some type of way to say maybe he, sometimes us on the outside, we don't know the relationships and different things. He may took that as subliminal directly at him. No, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's down there.
That's what I'm saying.
There might be more to it than we know. I mean, like I said, them Atlanta brothers and sisters, y'all let us know in the comment section.
But let me say this though about the T.I. situation. If anybody knows, I rock with T.I.
Heavy.
I know that. I listen to his music. You know what I mean? He's one of my favorite, artists. But when you're doing media, sometimes it gets uncomfortable when you got to put the truth out what people have done in the past. You know what I mean? And to keep it real, the people were the ones who were saying he was going at T.I. Remember, the people was hitting us and saying that.
We didn't believe that though. So let me just give you what is your take on T.I.? What is your honest perception on T.I.?
I think he's a real, thorough dude. I actually respect him, to a high degree. You know what I mean? I don't think he snitched or nothing like that. It was kind of just a joke. You know what I mean? We were going back and forth on the video, but I think he's a real good. We see him a good family dude. He speaks out. I have a few criticisms, of him, but he's doing a lot down there. So I rock with you. Nothing against him, man.
So y'all hear that right there, exclusively right here on the Uncensored podcast. We're allowed to be critical with people. We're going to be critical, just like we don't have no problem with people getting critical of us. It's all respect at the end of the day.
It's beautiful though, man. You gotta love that though.
Facts.
Definitely. But yeah, you tune into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Going in today on this Thursday, everybody listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. All right, man, we got to talk about this right here, man. Gucci Mane. Now, but the fashion designer Gucci is apologizing for a sweater, which was pretty much, you see on the screen there, a black face. Now, they were selling this for damn near $1,000, and when they put this up on their website, they started getting a whole bunch of backlash. And the worst part about this, not the worst part, but one of the worst parts about this is that they dropped it right in the middle of the start of Black History Month. Sam, and what do you think about this? I know when you've seen it, you text me, once again, another company now having to apologize for this one right here is sick. Blackface. What do you think about this?
This is what I would like to see happen with this situation right here. Instead of us going on social media and crying about it and then wearing that shit the next day, let's take the monies out their motherfucking pockets and let's really do something about this. Because when you look at this outfit, and it threw me off, I had to do a double, triple, quadruple look at it because I look at the fucking lips in particular, and I'm like, I hope homegirl got lipstick on. Nah, she ain't got lipstick on. This is red lips on top of this black fucking tight thing. And the first thing I thought was, damn, I bet Future gonna buy it. Sorry.
Wow.
We too much glamorize this bullshit.
Damn, Sam, man, they gonna get you.
And the thing is, you got brothers and sisters. I don't care if they get me. Go ahead, bring the smoke. Because you got people out here that we know in areas that we live in that will die for a fucking belt, for a pair of fucking Gucci shoes, for a bag. You got people out here, this is a stature of fucking success. When these people put these brands of clothing on and the outright disrespect that they could throw, in particular in Black History Month, when we hear nothing going on about Black empowerment, nothing going on as far as greatness. You not saying thank you to all the donation and all the money that you put in our pockets. Let's put some money into your school systems in future. You go and tell me a school system you want us to donate to, and we got you. Soldier Boy, you don't wear a fucking headband for 12 years. You go ahead and pick a school you want us to go ahead and donate to, and let's go do that. Give us a real thank you. Don't put out this blackface and offer an apology and then go out and put some shit out next week and then have us endorsing it more, because make no mistake about it, we made you hot. We made you relevant. And the only reason why you're successful right now is because rappers are out here flaunting this shit like it's everything. And now you got kids dying to wear the shit.
Yeah. And it's and here's one of my biggest criticisms as I see, all these and Tommy Hilfiger had to admit this years back that I think it was when Snoop Dogg and other people, Mary J. Blige, started wearing Tommy Hilfigers, when it really sent, his sales and his company, really put it to where it helped it go to where it is as a national, brand. But when you see, companies like Gucci and Adidas who was just reprimanded, it just shows they have no respect, whatsoever, because this is something that's contemplated. This is something that's drawn up. You know what I mean? And people probably have to approve this design before it goes out. So an apology is not enough here, but I get it. We have to, really do something about this. I mean, you'll be here, gone today, gone tomorrow. Guys are still, be getting their Gucci belts and their watches and thinking that that's, the status symbol of success. My biggest problem, and I think long term, is I would like to see us more promote our own brands, like a la the Fubu's and, you know, even the Sean Johns and the Rockefeller, Rockaware, you know, that came out. Like these companies, they come out and they're hot and they dissolve. No, not to say that any, you know, all of them are gone, but it's just like, if we, with all our followings, 50 million, 100 million, will promote our own brands, we don't have to worry about stuff like this. But we want to promote Fashion Novas and the Gucci's, and, you know, people rocking Nicki Minaj as a Fendi queen now. And to me, it's just like, okay, I get it. They cutting the checks in the bag, but what happened to the day of independence to say, you know what, I'm gonna make my own Nicki Minaj clothing brand or my own Cardi B clothing brand. Instead of getting a fucking deal with Fashion Nova, I make my own Fashion Nova. I don't see why people don't do this anymore. And again, I'm not hating on you. Get your bag, of course, but I just don't see it. For me, I would much rather, you know, make my own. I mean, I don't know, man. What happened to those days, man?
Those days when it comes to the higher up, when the higher a B-list celebrity may be dead, it has to go back to the root. We're trying to water the flower instead of watering the fruit. And it starts with low in smaller businesses and smaller clothing brands getting together and properly networking. You wash my hand, I wash yours. You wear my clothing, I promote your brand. And we do that. We do a photo shoot. We're sharing each other's stuff on social media. We're in a day and age right now where we could get stuff out to the masses the right way, and understanding algorithm. If enough of us start to do it, it's going to garner real attention. We have to start supporting each other from the ground up and build a new wave and a new support system. So when that Fashion Nova was time to pop, you got that next big wave in internet clothing coming up that belongs to us, because we've already started promoting it, building it, setting the brand, putting the hashtags out. So when it was time to explode, boom, we're already a part of it. But we got to start.
We trendsetters, man. We're trendsetters. And it's like, people follow trends so much now, because now you see one person Fashion Nova and everybody want the Fashion Nova. People don't realize, dummy, that you can have the same effect with your own brand, with your own clothing. You got these Instagram models that's, you know, now selling all this belly, you know, cream and stuff, the belly tuck your tummies and all this shit. Make your fucking own products, man. Make your own. Invest the money in the products into it and get it flipped and do your own thing and promote your own, and get your celebrity friends to promote your shit. Stop making these companies money, because you see they don't give a fuck about you. They don't even want you really wearing this shit, really. They a lot of this stuff, they don't make it, you know, for us. We had that problem, we know, back in the day. You know, I always say this, you know, none of the stuff really fits me. For some of the brands, I'm not going to name them now, but yeah, man, it's like, come on, man, we got to do better. You know, anytime you got companies like Adidas, Gucci, and countless other countries who continue to disrespect our culture, you know, and us as a people. I mean, if this was if they did that to, you know, a Jewish person or a Chinese person, you know, it'd be outraged, and their people would actually, you know, never probably mess with that company ever again.
That's a fact.
Like because they stick together. So I wish we could do it.
You know, the dope thing about this is I'm not gonna name the brother's name, but I had a private conversation with another YouTuber who asked me a question, asked me on the strength of something. I was like, yeah, no problem, blah 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 blah. And countless times, this shit humbles us each and every day. The bigger we get, the more successful we get humble, but we understand the responsibility. And like I was talking about, just building from the ground up, we ain't got no problem answering the question and helping the next brother, next sister that offers help, because we understand we were there before. We're there still. We're there now. We're not above or beyond anybody to go, yeah, man, I can help you out. That makes us feel good. When we get people on this show, Manny, Trev, my man Dan, entrepreneurs that can go and tell their story, promote their brand. Our man Mike tomorrow with the More Movement. It's going to be a powerful interview tomorrow with our man Mike Forrest, owner of moremovement.org. But when we are able to bring these entrepreneurs out here and get them in front of an audience that they're not typically able to get in front of, that's like going on Power 99 or Hot 97 right now when it comes to YouTube. We understand our power. We understand our importance. We understand the narrative that we're out here promoting. So we got to make sure it's as positive as possible. And so people come and sit here, they know that they're in a comfortable seat, and we're promoting positivity out here. And that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, man. That definitely makes some great.
Got to build from the ground up.
Yes, definitely. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sam Man, going in today on this Thursday episode number 113. If you're listening to this on any other platform besides our Uncensored Truth podcast, please make sure you go into the description box and follow us. Our Twitter and Instagram, you know, and YouTube page will all be in there. We need everybody to go follow, those social media sites. We definitely do appreciate that in advance.
Indeed, man. Let's talk about this before we get up out of here and give our last final thoughts on the evening, man. Ja Rule. Now, we seen the Fire Festival debacle. We seen that documentary.
Yeah,
pretty crazy what we saw. Excellent documentary, very terrible what we saw. Ja Rule not getting any blame when it came to any financial or criminal punishment involved, but he received a lot of criticism, and I think deservingly so. We should have paid some people some money. All that being said, Ja Rule's back at it again. He has a new app that is very similar to the Fire app. It is called Icon. He dropped something on his IG for bookings, and he also dropped something along the lines like, try my new app, it's Fire. He spelled it like F-Y-R-E, and he said laugh out loud too soon. So
ain't the name of the app like Icon or something? That's just like a spit. That's crazy.
Is he on some fuck shit right now, man?
Man,
talk about it, man.
I think, honestly, that, because when you look at the documentary, I think they have one on Hulu, but we seen the one on Netflix. You know what I mean? Just for the record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see that the potential, was through the roof. Like if they would have been able to capitalize on that, I mean, it would have been like epic. But I think that he may be, I hate to do it to you, Ja Rule, but it's just like, you may be up to some bullshit on this. And I'm not saying he's trying to scam anybody or anything. I just think he might be seeing like the dollar signs and trying to recreate something. Maybe he sees that something that he can actually do, but he was involved, to an extent, to a large extent with the Fry Festival, where he could have been held, liable and even put in jail. Some people may feel like he needs to be put in jail. They do feel like he needs to be put in jail. I just think it's a slap in the face. I don't want to be too harsh on a brother, but I think it's a little bit too many signs, like with the Icon, and then the reference to the Fire Festival. I think it's a lot.
I think
it makes me wonder.
Exactly. If anything, he need to be trying to take care of them people that were out there blood, sweating, and tearing for that Fire Festival that you knew was going on and got absolutely nothing. I'm not talking about the sister that had to put $50,000 up with her own money and got triple that, which she absolutely deserved. I'm talking about them people that work 24 hours a day that didn't get a dime, that didn't get absolutely anything, that were promised contracts, that promised their family and got disappointed. And you walked in and walked right on out, and now you're spitting in their face. People that look just like you. Now, I'm not saying you owe them the whole thing, but you need to go out there and try to help and try to make good out of that situation, and you're not. And that's some fuckboy shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, we ain't gonna go too hard on you, but that's a great point. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, that was a sad part.
Sad, man.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Another episode, the Uncensored Truth podcast, episode number 113. Man, we're gonna keep on going harder and harder. You know what I mean? And giving y'all more and more episodes, of the Uncensored Truth podcast. Make sure that you're, in the building tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on Hip Hop News Uncensored. We will be live doing our live podcast, in front of everybody. So definitely can't wait, man. There should be some great topics by then. Definitely.
It's going to be real fun, man. We always enjoy the live edition of the Uncensored Truth podcast. We also got a great interview with our man, Mike Forrest, CEO of IamMore.org. You'll probably see that interview throughout the weekend and the top of the week, man. But we're excited about that as well. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, and of course, the Uncensored Truth podcast official channel.
Yeah.
And for your listening pleasure on iTunes, Spotify, and all major